Hi, my name is Dr. Steve Simpson. Welcome to the channel and the How to Hack Your Brain Fast series. As you know, I'm an elite performance. I'm an elite performance coach. I work with elite performers, and that is people like you, whether you know it yet or not, because we're all capable of elite performance in at least one area of our life. Aren't we, Lucy?
Yeah.
So I'm welcoming Lucy back to the show. You will remember that she is the great complainer, and she has been on the show a couple of times before because she is saying some of my videos are too long and boring, and she wants quick, fast answers because she doesn't have any time to waste in her busy life. So Lucy, how can we change people's lives in less than 5 minutes today? What is the topic?
I think today we were going to talk about eating and nutrition.
Yes.
Is that what you wanted?
Yes, you gave me a heads up about that,
Yeah.
eating and nutrition, and why now, or why is this so important?
Oh, because it's the new year and because there's lots of information coming out about how food affects our mental activity, our physical health, food for thought, food for your mind, body, soul.
Yep, all of that is true. Go into any bookshop and you'll see that it seems like half the bookstore is taken over with books about food, or weight loss programs, or healthy eating, you name it. So there's all this information out there, Lucy, so how can we add to the conversation?
Or how can we skim it down to some easy steps?
Easy steps to do what?
There's a lot of different diets, whether it's different fancy names for them, which one, how they're different, which one is the best one, which one gets the results you want.
So let's seeing the big picture.
Gut health as well, that's a big one.
Yeah, I mean there are all of these things, as you rightly so, and many more. But I would like us to go back to the big picture and say, well, you know, what is the point of all of these so-called diets, all of these books, this so-called healthy eating? I mean, if we were to follow all the advice we were given, we would spin round in circles and fall over dizzy, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
So what is the end result? I guess we all want to be healthy, don't we? I mean,
optimal health.
Optimal health, whatever that means. It means that we're taking in from the environment all of the ingredients we need to help our body to be the miracle that it is. And some of us want to lose a couple of pounds of weight because the doctors told us we probably should do. But don't let's forget, some of us need to put on a couple of pounds in weight.
And when it's flu season, people get sick as well. So how to stay healthy without needing, without getting sick.
Yeah. Well, all of those things you mentioned, you know, diet, you know, good, what we eat, all of those things. I mean, having a good immune system, and you know, not getting colds all the time, having an immune system to help us fight off cancer, having the right chemicals in our blood from our food that allows our brain to work the way it should be. That's what we're looking for, and. So there are all those diets out there which you know, they certainly confuse me. I've tried plenty of them in my time, and I feel good on some of them and I don't feel good on some of the others. I would say that if you are considering any big dietary change, do bear in mind you could actually be making yourself worse. So particularly if you've got any pre-existing medical condition like diabetes or whatever, definitely check that out with your doctor first. But the answer I'm going to kind of give is I spend a fair amount of my time in restaurants for one reason or another, and I enjoy trying different food, and I also enjoy watching people. And I just wonder how much fun people are getting sometimes, because they're taking forever to order, and finally they make a decision and then they probably change it a couple of times, and when the food does come, it's almost like you've let the hungry dog loose, and food goes flying in all directions. Some of it goes in the mouth, and the meal's over in about 10 minutes. Now, I don't really know what good that's done to anybody, and certainly there's perhaps an opportunity where people could have enjoyed the experience more. And speaking from more of a biological and evolutionary background, I think the more mindfully we do things, the more aware we are when we do anything, the more pleasure we're going to get from it. And it's particularly important with what we eat, because food doesn't just get digested in a matter of a few hours. It doesn't get broken down from all this complex food acids, essential oils, vitamins and minerals and sugars, all the things we need to be healthy that make us the miracle we are. This does take a little bit of planning by our bodies, and we need to give it time. And people, I think, perhaps have a tendency to neglect the amount of time that the food stays in the mouth. We have the mouth for a reason. That is so that we can chew our food, and we can start to break down particularly some of these plant fibers and meats, to break them down so that the stomach has a chance, and then the intestines has a chance to actually, digest this stuff. And the other thing that happens in the mouth is that there's this enzyme called tyalin that's released, and in our saliva we do actually start the digestive process. Well, if you take a mouthful of food, and we all do it, you quickly swallow it down, you've already missed out, perhaps one of the most important stages. So that's a reason why let the food stay in your mouth for longer. And you're going to get a couple of benefits from that. First of all, it allows your unconscious mind the opportunity to think, do I actually like this? Do I like the taste? And it might be that you think, I think I'm going to eat this again. So there's an unconscious learning going on, because the body is a great self-regulating mechanism that will give us, all the answers we seek if we give it time. And the second thing is, as I mentioned, if we chew food a lot, we're going to break it down and make the rest of the journey into getting the best nutrients out of it, easier. So I know we all like to multitask, but if you're eating, how about trying this? How about focusing exclusively on your meal for like 15 or 20 minutes or however long it takes? Chew each mouthful 20 times. I know it sounds boring and a bit dogmatic, but you will get used to it, and you'll find probably that you enjoy it that way. Don't be eating your food when you're watching TV, listening to the radio, doing household jobs, driving your car particularly. Just devote yourself to the eating experience. And if you do that, the chances are, if you need to put weight on, you probably will. If you need to lose a bit of weight, you probably will. That's the way the miracle of the body works. I know I say that time and time again, but it's just one of those things.
So how would it make you lose weight or gain weight?
Well, it makes sure that your food is, the body knows what it wants. The body will extract what it wants if it's given the time to do that.
Oh, so you can know whether to stop eating because you're full.
Yeah, you'll know when to stop eating. You will know that, yeah. And you'll know if you want more to eat. And you'll even know what kind of food you want. Now, those of you who have had children will know that in pregnancy, your eating habits quite often have changed dramatically. And they have a special word for that. I can't remember what they call it. But but a very common one is that some people like to eat coal. Well, you'd think, why coal? Well, I probably wouldn't think about that. The fact is, you see, that a pregnant mother is making her baby, and she's assembling all of the ingredients, not just for herself, but for her unborn child. And I just suspect that might be behind some of those choices.
So what was the 2 tips? The chewing?
Chewing slowly, and eating without other distractions.
Yep.
Again, opportunities to connect with the unconscious mind that will prod us, if we listen, into making good choices. And if you can try that for like a month seems to be the minimum to make any kind of change like this. You might just change the things you like. You might decide, okay, well, I don't particularly like eating a bar of chocolate every night. I might cut it down to half a bar. Who knows? You might even just cut it down to a couple of slices. That's just an example. We all have foods that we know we eat, and we know they're probably, not good for us. Whatever that particular food might be. I'm not saying stop eating chocolate, by the way, but we all know what we mean by that. And the opposite of that is you're going to really appreciate the foods that you do like.
Any types of food to eat?
Any types of food? I think that's a very personal thing. I mean, I know that a lot of people now are eating less meat than before. Some people call themselves pescatarians. They eat fish, but not beef and bacon and stuff like that. There are vegetarians, as we know, who don't eat anything like that, anything from the animal kingdom. And then there's vegans. I'm not quite sure exactly what the difference is. There are all these diets out there. Some of them might make you feel good, some might make you feel worse. Particularly if you've got any kind of pre-existing medical condition, it could easily make you feel worse. So I would say that, you know, before you do anything drastic in your lifestyle, do just check it out with your doctor, because you know, he or she might advise you that this isn't a brilliant idea.
I guess it's a step in being mindful about where the food on your plate has come from. People are being more aware of how it's been grown or how it's been transported.
Yeah, yeah. Now there's you know, just before we wrap up the show, there's one little story, and it's widely quoted by people. And they did an experiment where they had Buddhist monks making chocolate of all things, and one group of people had chocolate that was made by the Buddhists while they were meditating, and another group of people had chocolate where there were no Buddhist monks and no meditation. And the majority of people said they preferred the Buddhist monks, even though they didn't know that it was the Buddhist chocolate. So I guess that's a way of an example of intention, which is probably a subject for another whole new program. But there you go. It's just another thing that there's more to food than just stuff on a plate that we eat.
Be mindful eaters.
Mindful, be aware of it. And again, the miracle of living in countries where we can eat pretty much whatever we want, when we want. Not many generations throughout history have had our range of choice and the opportunities that we have to be healthy and to eat good stuff.
Do you have any healthy food tips?
Any healthy food tips? Well, I will mention one just because it's getting a bit of traction. I wouldn't call this a tip. It's something that I choose to do, but that is not a recommendation for other people, and especially bear in mind the health warning when I said, you know, don't make any change. But I've gone on to what they call intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
In simple terms, I don't eat 3 meals a day. I don't eat roughly every 8 hours. I basically will have a period when I don't eat anything. So I'm only having 2 meals. So in my case, I will eat my evening meal, and I'll skip breakfast, and then I'll have my lunch. So I don't do anything from the evening right through till lunchtime. Other people do it the other way around. It doesn't seem to matter. But I guess the theory is that you're giving your body a break for 14, 16 hours, something like that. And the body does need a break. Our minds need a break. That's why we go to sleep at night, or whenever we choose. Some people have to work at night. But it seems to make some kind of sense, and all I can say that for me, I feel better for it. And in fact, a couple of minor medical conditions that I've had, I'm glad to say have resolved, but that could be due to something different.
I've heard that having the break gives the chance for cells to rejuvenate and for your body to cleanse and rebalance.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Helps your immune system.
Makes sense to me, and I think you know, with going back to elite performers, it's, you know, people who have got a lot of passion and commitment to what they're doing, they will train and practice for 7 days a week. You know, my personal opinion is I don't recommend that. I think we all deserve a day off, do something different, because it gives the body a chance to relax and repair the damage, and also the mind as well. And very often we come back with a lot more enthusiasm from our day away. So any more last questions, Lucy, before we wrap?
Nope.
No? Okay, she's got no more complaining to do. That's a relief until the next show. Thanks very much for joining us. This is the How to Hack Your Brain Fast series. Another program will be coming up very soon. Hope you found something useful today which you can catapult throughout 2019, so that looking back a year from now you'll even be happier, healthier and wealthier than you are now. How wonderful that would be for all of us. So until the next time, goodbye.